So then we can see what the output looks like.
Okay, cool.
And then when I'm finished, I'm going to download it and then edit it up and post it again.
Cool, thank you.
Because I'm not very good at this, so we're going to edit out my awkwardness and stuff.
No, you're all
That
good.
type of thing. So I sent you the link, and then we can check on that link and make sure it's looking good. Looks like it's better than it was last time. When I was doing it with someone else, it wasn't auto switching.
Oh.
So now it's auto switching, so it's going to be better. Because the last guy, it was just him on the screen the whole time. Wasn't you couldn't see me. So
I had a bit of a look at it, and I was like, what? But there you go. I haven't used this before, so I'm like, what is going on? Whoa. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so did you watch the other video I did?
I watched some of it.
That's unedited though. I have to fix some of that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's cool though. It was a really interesting platform, like how you I haven't done a podcast before, so it's kind of cool. Is my mic loud enough as well? Like, do you need me to turn up, or are you good?
I look at the levels. It looks alright. I can't see anything red on my video at the store the last time, so make sure my volume was down a bit.
Cool. So I love how you've got your bookcase of all of your games.
Yes, there's about 500 or so there.
That's awesome. I reckon the last time I counted, I had like, I don't know if it's like 370 or something like that. But
most of it Sims.
Yeah, most of them are Sims, and then I've got a bookcase there. But actually, I'll move the cam for you so you can see. Like that's my whole. I've got like a Lego, and then I've got trashed because I've just cleaned my room. But yeah, that whole bookcase is full of Sims, DS games. I'm
going through the console versions and trying to collect them all. I've got a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And surprisingly,
I was collecting them at one stage, but I just gave up because I just won't play them, and I have no money right now, so I'm like, whatever.
There's a heap on the DS as well.
Oh.
I got a heap of them on the PS2, but on the DS there's like 20 or something because the whole spin-off series. Yeah, there's a series called My
Sims. Yep.
There's a heap of those as well.
Yep.
All right, so I think the video and audio is looking good. I'll just check what the YouTube video looks like. Okay, it's auto switching. That's good. That's what happened. That's probably how last time. I wasn't doing that. Probably reason my camera is zoomed in a bit too far, so I'll try to move my. I've got an iMac. And I'm using a Logitech camera because the one built in is older and it's not that nice.
I wonder if I can like edit mine from here.
It doesn't really give you those options.
No.
When because you're planning a podcast for Sims.
Oh, yes, I can. Look at that.
Oh, very good.
I don't know what I did now. I can't get back out. That's fine. I'll leave it like that. Is that okay? I mean, that's really close.
That's right. Cool. So what I was planning on doing is talking about branding on Twitch.
Yes.
You think you can talk about that for a while?
Yeah.
And talk about your background in game in general.
Yep.
Because being a girl in the 90s that likes games is a bit unusual.
Yep. I definitely, because I'm 30 or 31 next week. So I grew up with like my little brother, and he used to play a lot of games and stuff like that. So I used to play games with him, and then like I guess I'll probably save it for the thing. But yeah, it's a matter of like trying to find what games were good for me.
So I read your thing on Tumblr.
Oh, did you?
You're talking about it was weird. Well, the game shop people thought it was weird to go coming in.
Games. Well, that's why I thought I did that for you, because I know you asked for it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this because it's a good like little portfolio sort of thing for me too.
Yeah, that's all right. Because I've been looking at other people on YouTube and Twitch and looking for their interviews, and they've got some good podcasts now, like the Hate Street podcast. Have you heard about that one?
No.
The interviews.
I'm
YouTubers
very new to
Twitch
podcasts.
Okay, that one's good to check out. There's there's a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of them, and it's just good to have.
I was looking into it just actually at the same time. Like I can't even remember what came first. My friend actually approached me to do a podcast for The Sims because someone in the Sims community posted one, and it was so cringy. It was like really hard to listen to. And it was like 45 minutes of them just being like, now you say something, now you say something. And I was like, we can do so much better than this. And so now we're like putting together like a Sims, like a really cutesy, chatty Sims podcast. And I'm really excited for that too.
Yeah, that's be good. I'll check it out when it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Because I haven't actually seen any Sim podcasts. Maybe
Exactly. It's like a very niche thing. So
yes. All right, I think we've got the plan ready. So first, I'll talk about your background, talk about how you got started in content creation in general. So we'll talk about YouTube because you started that first, didn't you?
Yep. Are you going to prompt me with this or?
Yeah. I'll push you along.
Cool. No, that's so good.
And then we'll talk about Twitch, which will be the main topic, and talk about how you brand yourself because you've got a unique brand because no one else has actually brand themselves with tattoos. So
no, that's like an official brand. Hey, I hadn't even made that connection. There you go.
All right, so I think we're all good. All right, so I'll just do the intro. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the We Are Content Creators podcast. Today, we're talking about how to brand yourself on Twitch, and today we've got the Twitch streamer, the girl with a woohoo tattoo. Say hello, Alex.
Hey guys, how are you? It's Alex here, the girl with the woohoo tattoo.
And well, let's get started with talking about your background. Well, first, let's talk about what you do on Twitch. Just give everyone a little bit of a overview of what you actually do on Twitch.
So I am a variety streamer, mainly focusing on the Sims franchise, including EA and all sorts of the games. So Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3, mainly Sims 4. And then I do spread off and play other games as well as do mini games and stuff during my stream, like karaoke and dares and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I focus on, is mainly the Sims.
Yes, I noticed you play some retro games too. And I made you play all my games. Retro games, yeah. I'll get you to play all my favorite games. Well, there were favorite games when I was a kid. Green Dog, which I realize is horrible.
It's like playing it back. I think probably when it comes to retro games, you have that sort of nostalgia, and it's like, oh my god, this would have been so good. I could see when you were a kid, and like I could imagine just getting completely immersed in these really, I guess these days we call them very straightforward, side scrolly screens, and it's like, you know what? I don't know how many times I got fish attacked me on that level, but I'm assuming you probably had the same thing when you were a child as well.
I used to be pretty good at it. I used to get the end pretty quickly, but that was back then. I haven't played in years.
You should speedrun it.
Speedrun it. I should do that. Yeah, so I'm planning on streaming retro games at some point, so I'll look into that. So now we're talking about retro games. So how did you get started in gaming?
So my dad actually got me into games when I was really young. I remember him having that Pong machine and being super little and jumping on the bed singing The Little Mermaid while mum and dad played. I think they found it in the shed and brought it out. It was like, we should play this for a bit. And then from there, I remember my dad had a Commodore 64 and used to always bring home the wonderful Commodore cassettes, and he'd always try and bring ones home that would be for me and stuff like that. So I mean, again, I was very, very little. I remember one stage he brought me home a cassette, and me being obsessed with music, put it into an actual cassette player. It scared the life out of me. So I think ever since then I've been scared of aliens, and it's because of the Commodore 64 tapes that you're not supposed to play in a music machine.
I've seen someone on YouTube put that in a cassette player and play it, and I was like, that sounds like a dial-up modems. It's horrible.
It is terrifying. But yeah, from there, I mean, I was really little. I remember playing a game, I can't remember what it was called, but it had like teddy bears jumping across this thing. You had to bounce them back. And I used to force my dad to play that game, not because I wanted to play it, but because I wanted to see him play it. And I think that's what a lot of kids do when they're first introduced to video games. But from there, I remember we had a PC, and we had a lot of not great PCs, but I remember them being amazing, and they had the DOS, they had all the, you had to go in and run .exe and all these kind of things. And so I learned a little bit of like DOS programming from back then. And I remember the first time I ever got a Windows PC was it 3.1? And it had Sim Farm on it. And that was really the first time I ever played a sim game, was Sim Farm. And from there, I started, getting into PC gaming mainly. But I always had my heart with Sony and my handheld Game Boy. So that's sort of a real rough basis of how I got into gaming.
Did you find it strange being that gaming was male oriented back then? That when you buy games, did you find people thought it was strange?
Well, I had no idea as a kid. I mean, I guess because you don't really realize, because when you're a kid, you're very much at home. You know, my friends and stuff played Sega. We had a Sega, and that was my favorite console. My Mega Drive 2 was my favorite thing. I still have it today. It's under my bed, and it's locked away, like put away inside a bag, inside a box, so it can't get damaged at all, because it is my heart and soul. The last time I played it, it stopped working, and I cried for about an hour, and my husband had to come and console me because I was so upset. But I remember
Is it working good now?
I don't know. Like I said, I've left it there. I'm not touching it, but I have one of those little, I have a mini one, you know, the ones that Kmart did before they brought out the mini ones. It was like $50 and it just puts the cut. It's so good. So good. But yeah, I mean, I remember going over to my friend's house, and she had actually, the girl who lived across the road from me when I was really little, she was a year older than me, so she was always into the cool stuff. And we were both tomboys growing up. You know, we used to run around in the backyard and hit things with sticks, because that's what you do as a tomboy in the 90s, and then go back inside and play Jurassic Park on Sega. So I had a younger brother who's 5 years younger than me, and we played games together all the time. So it was very male orientated. And I remember going into video game stores when I was quite little. There was a store in a shopping center where I lived, and it's not there anymore. I can't remember what it was called, but it definitely died in the game at the end of I think it was the beginning of the 2000s. And it was a retro, like a used game place. And I just remember going through there and getting so many cool Sega games. And that's when I remember wanting to collect them. And I just remember sitting in the car and just smelling the case and being like, oh, it smells so good. It smells like new games. But when I was younger, when I was a little bit older and I decided to start playing The Sims, obviously I was really obsessed with The Sims. I didn't want to miss out. So one of the things that I would always do would go and pre-order my games at insert retailer here. We won't name drop. Like, I don't want to smash on anyone's stores, but I felt really awkward going into video game stores, only because when I was younger, I was about a size 4. I was tiny little skinny thing, and I was short, I was little, and I always looked really, I don't know, like I didn't look like the person who would play video games. And I would go in there in my school uniform and I would just get so many weird looks, and it would make me feel uncomfortable. You know, as a teenage girl, you don't want that from word go. And then as a female, you don't want that either, because, you know, it's very uncomfortable. And I remember ordering The Sims, I think it was Superstar or Pets or something like that. One of the real beginners, like the first expansion packs that came out. And I distinctly remember the guy behind the counter saying to me, oh, you're a girl, of course you play The Sims. And that really broke my heart. It actually almost made me want to stop playing games, because I felt like I wasn't good enough. So I then proceeded to find another retailer where I would order my games through, and then I'd make my dad go and pick them up because I was so embarrassed to go into video game stores. And that continued on into my early 20s. So yeah, that was not a very good experience, but regardless to that, I still played games. And there was a time when I was probably in my late teens where I sort of forgot about gaming, mainly because I was a singer and I was a performer, and I never had a PC with me. I actually traveled interstate and was in bands and stuff, so I couldn't exactly bring a gaming console with me. And I remember I took a job in a cafe, and next door there was a video game store, and I became friends with the guy next door. And, you know, I was doing the whole charismatic, like, oh, I used to play Pokemon when I was a kid. And I remember him dropping the whole, well, did you know they just released a new Pokemon game on the DS? And I was like, what is a DS? So then he literally, right then and there, sold me a DS with Pokemon Diamond. And that's when I was back in the game. Pun intended.
Yeah. And eventually you started working in retail and gaming retail?
Yes. So straight after that, I started studying music. Again, I was a muso, and I needed a part-time job. So I took a job at Game Australia in the local store where I was now. Sorry, I'll start that again. I took a job in Game Australia in the store that was near my house. And I was only there as a Christmas casual. And I remember that I was hired at Easter time to do the Easter rush, and at the same time Grand Theft Auto 4 had come out, so it was a new business. It was really exciting. It was fun, new people to work with, and Guitar Hero was big. So we had a Guitar Hero demo in the store as well. So it was a really, really fun place to start working. And from there, I guess I was quite successful because I ended up jumping up the ladder to store manager, to senior store manager, where then I used to overtake other stores to go and look over them and see how the managers were performing, see how the team was being trained, and fill those gaps where it needed, including merchandising and clearing out the back room and, you know, getting their procedures and standards in place. But unfortunately, as we all know, the game retailer did not last very long in Australia, as it collapsed in 2012. So from there, I didn't work in gaming retail straight away because it honestly broke my heart. So Game, if you're watching, I'm angry at you. I loved games and I loved retail. I love people. So that's one of the things that really, you know, made me want to stay in gaming retail. So even though I worked in a different area, I was actually asked to come and work for EB Games, where I worked there for just over a year in another store as a store manager, and made some amazing relationships and connections and networks, which is basically one of the reasons why I'm where I am today.
Yeah, I know. So being a female and working with games, a lot of the customer base is usually grandparents or parents or mums, I should say.
Yes.
And you would have helped them out a lot by picking games for the kids. Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever been in a video game store, you know that the main employees there are usually pimple face neckbeards. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry to use that term. It's offensive, but it's true. And when I was hipsters, all right, we'll use hipsters. The people that I worked with at Game were the epitome of hipsters. So we'll go with that. Everybody has their niche, but when it comes to gaming, because there are certain games that are so popular, let's drop some Call of Duties, Battlefields, World of Warcrafts, people are very, very passionate about these titles and sometimes get tunnel vision and forget that, you know, a teenage girl, not myself, another teenage girl may come into the store and want to buy a present for her boyfriend. You know, that's okay, cool. What's the latest Call of Duty? What's the latest Rockstar game? What's the latest, you know, Far Cry? That's the kind of thing that, you know, you would be looking at. But if someone came in and she was a teenage girl and she wanted to buy a game for herself and she's played The Sims her whole life, these people don't know anything about The Sims. They're not going to be able to help her. And not only that, but they're going to shut that and there's going to be blockage straight away. So that's one of the reasons why I got into gaming. I wanted to come into that position in order to, you know, accept and welcome everybody. Everybody can game. Everyone can sit at home and video game. I guarantee you the amount of grandmas that come in and buy hidden object games, they own more games than you do, Brenton. More games than you've got behind them because they're $5 a pop.
Well, my grandma plays games on her tablet, and she's been doing it for 6 years or so now, and she's played all the Candy Crushes. She's played all those
My
games.
mum is obsessed with games. She just doesn't like to admit it. And I found her at work playing on an Excel document, one of those like bubble pop games. I'm like, Mum, that's a video game. And she's like, no, it's not. And then from there, we got her the DS, and she was obsessed with the hidden object games on DS. And then she started getting obsessed with the match games. But now all she does is play Candy Crush, and that's Sum one. Oh my God. And every day she's like, I saw you gave me a heart on Sum. I'm like, yeah. I was on the toilet when I was playing that, but I'll leave that out. But it's true. It is so true. There was statistics. I haven't looked at any statistics lately, but at the one stage, there were 58% of people who played games were female. There are not that many games out there that are dedicated towards females. And I mean, again, genders aside, we can do whatever we want. And same goes, boys can play Sims, girls can play Sims. It doesn't matter. It's about, you know, being accepted into the communities and being accepted into a store to buy the games. You know, this was my pinnacle time working in video games, was before it was all online. And that's one of the reasons why Game shut down, is because everything started going online. So people really wanted to go into a store and ask for help and be like, hey, my kid loves Skylanders. What's next? So, you know, it was really important for retailers to know and understand what is the next up and coming thing. So that's where I developed my niche, and that's where I really excelled in the gaming industry, because I personally, you could ask me one thing about Call of Duty, I have no idea. I could fake it. But the last Call of Duty game that I honestly played was Black Ops, the first one, and I loved it. The storyline was really good, but that's the last Call of Duty.
It was the fourth one, and that was in like 2007. So
oh yeah, Modern Warfare. Yeah. Oh wait, no,
yes.
just after Modern Warfare. It was
I think it was
Modern Warfare. Yeah, that was a good one too, actually.
That's the last one I played, and that was a long time ago.
And I mean, even like when it comes to shooters and stuff, I'm shocking at shooters, first-person shooters. Like I've played Fortnite for like 10 minutes, but I really love the Star Wars franchise, so that got me into like Battlefront. So and I'm very lucky to be a game changer, an EA game changer, so I can actually get those codes and review games for people, and I can still play these games without having to worry about oh, am I going to be really bad at it? So it's really good.
That's a good thing about being a Twitch streamer. It doesn't matter if you're bad at it, as long as you're entertaining.
Oh, exactly. Fine. And honestly, the first thing I wanted to do before I became a Twitch streamer was stream something called Cute Girl Rages, because I cannot play first-person shooters to save my life. And I thought it would be really funny to just have me just being like, yada, 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 talking me, being me, and then not working out and like literally just exploding. But from there, I, worked out what I actually wanted to do, and here we are.
Yeah. So that's so you're talking about gaming. So how did you get started in content creation?
Okay, so the way that I got started in content creation really falls back onto the context that I met when I was working in EB. I was amazingly invited to a Sims 4 preview event in Sydney just before the game was released, and that was in 2014. I'm pretty sure. And I got to meet some amazing content creators. And these were people that I didn't even know existed. So I'm going to say James Turner's The Sims Supply, Deligracy, Caitlin Sims, Ngram Pixels. There were so many. And then there was websites, like I can't even remember. There was one from Singapore, and then there was Resident Entertainment. And then there were all these other things like Baxter, and there were all these different people that I had never known. And I went there and I was expecting, a cocktail party. I was expecting plus 100 people to sort of, be able to mingle and stuff with other Sims players. But no, it was a press event and there were 15 of us. And I felt so out of place. I was like, these people have like 200,000 subscribers. What am I doing here? But then I realized the reason that they wanted me there is because I was a player and I was someone who's actually going to sell their product. And I had the best day. It was so good. So I flew into Sydney, and I remember I stayed in this tiny little pudgy hotel because I wanted to, not worry EA. I'm like, no, it's cool. I'll work it out. I'll pay for accommodation and flights. It's fine. And then I stayed in this like $50 a night like hotel right next to the airport, and it cost me more money to get into the city than the hotel actually cost me. But I met Sim Guru Graham, who is actually one of the lead producers on The Sims 4. And he was such a nice guy. And we got to chatting. We talked about, I was going to Vegas that year, and we were talking about getting a cabana, staying by the pool, and, just had a really, really good time. I drank all their booze. I ate all their cupcakes and made some amazing friends. So flash forward about maybe 2 years, and I was contacted by my friend from Resident Entertainment. His name's Brian, and he runs the website residententertainment.com.au. So he previously was doing Sims reviews and realized that there was just too much for him to do. He was working, and he was also attending at least 2 or 3 movie premieres a week. So he he contacted me and said, hey, Alex, I know how much you love The Sims. Would you like to be would you like to write reviews for The Sims and be our Sims correspondent? And from there, he would always contact EA and organize the codes and stuff like that. So I was very, very well looked after from Resident Entertainment, and I love writing for them. It's such an easy platform to write for, and I can basically write any article for anything as long as it's entertainment related. I've done reviews for books, movies, independent games, big games like The Sims, and also random games that I've been like, this game's really cool. I think more people should know about it. But I also do articles and stuff on updates and things like that as they come around. So that's where I sort of started. And I was looking at Brian's previous posts, and he had some videos with his posts. And I thought, what? I really wanted to start that YouTube channel when I met all those YouTubers 2 years ago. I thought, what, how can I actually get into this? And I sort of started dabbling. I was working full-time at the time as well. So I was only putting out maybe a video every month. But I had the channel there from when I first started, and I had the Tumblr, the girl with the woohoo tattoo, which is a play on the girl with the dragon tattoo.
I was going to ask you about that. That was
that was when I started. So that's how old that name is. Let's put it that way. And I have had the Sims tattoo since 2011. So I was actually, when I met Deligracy, she took a photo of my Sims tattoo and put it up on her Twitter. And from there, I was absolutely flooded by people, like by followers. And I thought, wow, this is probably time for me to make another account. So that's when I sort of started deciding that it was really important to, you know, start building my brand from the word go. And then, yeah, so since then, YouTube, I had Tumblr going, and I was making pictures and stuff like that. And I'm not much of a storyteller. Some people are amazing storytellers when it comes to The Sims. I just take photos and be like, here's a funny caption. And then, so I started making videos, and then from there I started twitching.
All right, so on your YouTube channel, what sort of content do you do over there? Mainly Sim stuff, but what other things do you do?
So with my YouTube channel, again, I have my heart is set on retro games. So I really wanted to do like a review on old retro games. And there's one reviewer that I really, really like on YouTube. His name is Lazy Game Reviews. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I watch him a lot.
He cracks me up. I love his style. He just doesn't care. He's indifferent. He's very Winnie the Pooh about things. He's like, I was given this game for free. I'm going to play it. Let's see how we go. You know, like he doesn't expect anything from the game developers, and they don't expect anything from him. And I just think that he gives great, honest, funny reviews. And I used to always watch, what was his name? Oh, he used to write for the, hang on, I'm going to do a Google. What was his, was it Yahtzee? I can't remember. Let me see. He used to, yes, The Escapist. I think it was Yahtzee.
Is that the one with the yellow?
Yes, and he talks. He's really offensive, and he just talks, and he's just like blah, blah, blah. I just remember he did an article on. He did a review for Nier, and he was like, I know why this game's called Nier, because it's the sound that you make when you get it, and you're like, nah. I just like that. That's the kind of thing that sticks in my head. And again, he's got a great brand. You know, he's got a great attitude, and you remember his voice, and that's so important when it comes to online content creation.
Yeah, being able to for the viewers to be able to spot your stuff is
exactly
is important, because there's a lot of content out there, and they need to be able to figure out who's who.
That's it.
Especially with YouTube, because you've got the suggested videos on the side. Again, if they're watching your video, they want to, or you hope they want to find more of you. And if your thumbnail sticks out on the side, then they'll watch your stuff.
Exactly. And that again goes really into that goes into branding, and making sure that everything is. One thing that I can't stress more about people who start YouTube is you need to have something that stands out straight away. You need to have a calling card, you need to have a brand, you need to have a color, you need to have just a way that you edit your thumbnails in order to, be uniform every single time. You need to keep it the same. Otherwise, if you've got... Yeah, well, okay. You can ask me.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, but that's right. Keep going. You're already on the subject. That's good. So, yeah, I was looking at your thumbnails, and I was seeing there's a theme. Theme to them.
So with my thumbnails, I always put a rounded square on the back so that it always has that nice border, and then I will have things that pop out, so there'll be different layers. And I like to turn the contrast up. I like to include some sort of icon, and also I love fonts. So that's one thing that I hate is I wish my fonts all matched, but I try and keep it to the same thing. And if I have a face video, my face is going to go on the thumbnail. That it's just these little rules that I've created myself to make sure and just so that I can always stick to my brand.
Yeah, that's definitely what you should be doing, because I can see you got a theme going. The videos where you're in it, you got a picture of you, and do you upload your Twitch streams to YouTube?
No, I don't. I started doing that, but the reason I do that is because I wanted to make it exclusive. 2 reasons mainly. One, YouTube shows the girl with the woohoo tattoo, but this much. So I wanted to make it open for family friendly, because again, that's my niche. That's who I wanted to approach online. Is I wanted to, talk to teenage girls and teenage boys and, their mums and dads. So I wanted to make something that is, available and acceptable online. So if I swear, I will bleep it out on my YouTube channel, whereas my Twitch is a little bit more raw. So you see about this much more of me. So because I can't help but swear, because I'm a very, very colorful, passionate person. And sometimes when my sim doesn't do what I want to do, I'm happy to drop an F-bomb. So I can't control that. And I didn't want to put a filter on my Twitch. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to keep them absolutely exclusive, separate, because I have streamed on YouTube before and I don't like it. Twitch, yeah, okay. Let's talk about Twitch for a second and talk about the amount of negative feedback that we get. And I'm not talking about, content creators or females or anyone in particular. I'm just talking about the trolls. They want attention. We won't give them attention, but basically there were so many more trolls on YouTube and I could not work out how to really get an audience working on YouTube. Even though I had, at the time, I think I had about 500 subscribers on YouTube, I couldn't not get an audience. And it was really, really hard. Whereas Twitch has made it super duper easy just to be like, communities, here we go, here we go, here we go. I still have not worked out YouTube, and kudos to those people who do stream on YouTube, because I have a really good mate who does stream on YouTube and is very successful about it. But I really dislike it when I go into his streams because of the negative connotations that I get in chat. And again, maybe it's because my name is the girl with the woohoo tattoo. I don't know. Personally, YouTube streaming isn't for me. So that's why I decided to keep it completely separate.
It's strange how different the communities are on
Yes.
YouTube and Twitch, how different they are. YouTube is very money focused these
Yes.
days. And
Very
it's very money focused and very it's trolly and negative.
Yes.
And then you go to Twitch and it's a party.
But is it like, see, the other thing is I haven't worked out is Mixer. Like, I haven't even looked into Mixer, and I've seen people stream on Facebook these days too. Like, what?
Yeah, gaming streams on Facebook I don't think are going anywhere. It's more brands and stuff streaming on Facebook as well, I noticed. Yeah. So I think we covered your background. So what about streaming on Twitch now? So you talk about your brand a bit.
Okay.
So how do you translate YouTube to Twitch? How do you jump onto Twitch?
Okay, so one thing that people need to know. Apparently
Siri
I've
saying hello.
Siri, go away, Siri. One thing that really people need to know when starting a YouTube channel is that you are muted. And by that I mean is, you have your personality, and it's the old saying of, you go on TV, the TV puts on 10 pounds. YouTube takes off about 50% of your excitement. So when you're building a brand and building a stream or content, anything that involves you've got to turn it up to 11. You really do. And a lot of people say to me, oh, I thought you were so intense. I'm actually not that intense in real life. Normally I'll be sitting in the corner and I'll come over and talk to you and we'll have a laugh and I'll make you laugh and then I'll make myself laugh and then I'll go get a drink. Depending on how many drinks I get, the more and more intense I get. But because I'm such the effort that I put in when I stream and when I YouTube is insane. Like, if you were to say translate real life to Twitch, all I can say is just turn it up, turn that knob up. And it is really hard. Like, a lot of people, I always like to stream for at least 3 hours. That's my thing. If I'm having a bad day or I'm sick, I'll cut it short. But I will always try and stream for at least 3 hours for exposure and all sorts of things. But also, if I stream much longer than that, I'm exhausted because I have been going at it like a jackrabbit for 4 hours. I'm getting to the end, and again, it's quality over quantity. So by the end of my streams, I usually feel quite burnt out. And coming from YouTube to Twitch, I found it was so much easier. I didn't have to sit there for hours and hours and days almost editing videos, and a lot of my skills that I had from YouTube, I could actually translate over to Twitch, and things just like talking to people, engagement, and the dropping in of the call to actions and stuff like that. Like, oh, hey guys, I'm playing The Sims. It's out next week. you know, that kind of thing. So again, having people there and actually chatting with you is so much better. And use people while you're in your chats, because, you know, even if there's no one there, sing to yourself, talk to yourself, or just refer to chat as chat.
Yeah, there's live streaming is very tiring because I do it too.
It
and I
is.
usually do it at
It's
the end of the day
exhausting.
because I work all day and then I get home and then live stream is like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed straight after I live
Oh,
stream.
look,
It's
I've
tiring.
been there. Before I was a full-time streamer, I was working full-time as a store manager, and I would come home and be like, oh, I have to stream, which is why I'm so excited for next week, because I took a week off so that I can literally be there and be like 110%. So I'm really excited.
People don't understand how much time it goes into streaming and YouTube as well, because you've got to plan for everything. You got to design your layouts and your thumbnails and all that stuff.
Once you've done it a few times, though, it does get easier. That was one thing as well with Twitch. A lot of people are like, oh, I can Twitch stream, but they really don't know what goes into Twitch streaming. Like, I used to be a travel agent. That was the job that I took after I worked. And I used to have a job, like my desk had 2 monitors on it, and I used to be a chat consultant. So people would come in and they would chat to me, and I would and then move over to the next person. I probably have 4 or 5 chats going most of the time. Like, it was a busy thing. So at the same time, you've got these people chatting here, you're doing your research. So you're over here having a look and seeing what flights you can get them, searching. You've got 20 tabs open. You've got 3 for this person, 3 for that person. And then your boss comes over and says, what do you want for lunch? We're going out tonight. You know, don't forget this meeting. Then you've got people sitting next to you talking about the song that's on the radio, and Darude Sandstorm comes on, which means you need to step away and have a rave and then get back into it. You know, like, it is, that job taught me so much about multitasking that I can't even say like any other job has taught me. And again, I've been a store manager. One thing that you really need to get down if you're going to be a Twitch streamer is how to multitask, because you need to do at least 4 things at a time. So that is playing the game and being engaged with your game. You also need to be engaged with your chatters, so the people who are viewing the stream. At the same time, you need to be keeping an eye on your actual stream to make sure that it's not crashing, dropping frames, your audio is okay. And then, you know, in the process, you've got to be keeping an eye out for your alerts and making sure that people are welcomed. And, you know, if people are throwing bits at you, to be, you know, constantly keeping an eye on that kind of thing as well. And it does, like, it is very hard work.
Yeah. Doing that job, you learn really quickly how to multitask, and that will translate well to Twitch, because there's so much you got to look at.
By the end of the day, I'd have notes everywhere, and I'd just be like,
You got a multi-screen setup?
Yes, I have 2 screens. I'm about to move up to 3 screens. Thank you to Gilroy the Almighty. I'll do a name drop there for you. I've just bought a new monitor, and I'm really excited about it because I was actually using a television. I had like a 32-inch LG TV, and it sat almost the same size as my desk. So like now I can actually sit up and see you instead of having to be like, whoa. So I've just upgraded, and thank you to Twitch for that. Like, obviously I wouldn't be able to afford that if it wasn't for Twitch. So any revenue and stuff that I get, I always put back into my stream. So I'm actually starting to get a really nice little setup, and these things have come and gone as you go. Like, if you're a Twitch streamer and you've just started up, don't fret about not having the best setup. Like, I think when I first started, I had this is YouTube. When I first started YouTube, I used to use my phone. So I would actually use, what's it called? Like that, when you mirror it to the screen?
Screen mirroring. Were you doing it on the screen mirroring to the phone to the computer, or computer to the phone?
So I would use my phone as a webcam. So I would actually have a program that showed what was on my screen. So it'd be like an Elgato sort of type thing, except I screen mirrored it to my actual computer, and then I would have it on the side. I'd have my phone on the side so that then I could crop it, and then I could have that as my webcam. And the worst part is, if the lighting changed, the little light would come up and it would start don't watch my early videos. It's very bad. But I mean, you know, you've got to make do. And at one stage I had an iToy camera from 1999 in there. Like that was the best webcam I ever had, and it just conked it. But yeah, so I mean, you've just got to use what you've got. You know, don't go out and spend stupid amounts of money just because such and such has a Blue Yeti. I have an Audio Technica, and I actually have like a music background, an audio background. And my Audio Technica is better than any mic ever, because I know how to set up the settings. And that's another thing. It all comes with, knowing what excuse me, I have a frog in my throat today.
Yeah.
It all comes with having this knowledge and reaching out and finding people who will be able to help you through the streams.
Yeah, I've starting as cheap as possible is good. There was a YouTuber I watched called Sin Spacies. Have you heard about him? The Australian guy. Sin Spacey.
Yes, I think I have. Yeah.
The Australian guy in Sydney. He started off with a SingStar microphone.
Yes, yes.
So that's how he started, and I think he was using just some cheap camera he had laying around.
See, I wouldn't do that personally, only because I hate SingStar. Look, let's be real. Sorry, Sony. I love Sony. Sony is my bae. SingStar is the worst. Mostly because I'm like a trained singer and I cannot do SingStar because I go out and I sing how I want to sing, not how SingStar wants me to sing. So I always lose. But I put on a good show. That's the main thing.
Well, being entertaining. Do you do SingStar for your Twitch streams? Have you ever done that?
No, but I think I should. I'm actually considering getting into that because I reckon I actually... Look, Sony, if you're watching, send me a demo. The last time I had SingStar was for PS3, I think. Oh, no, wait.
I don't think there is a PS4 one to think of it. Maybe there is.
No, I did a review for it. I have it.
Yeah. Was it on YouTube? Because I don't think I saw it.
I didn't do any video for it. I reckon it was just a written review. Okay, now I have to find that disc. Anyway, all right, SingStar. Let's bring that into the stream. Maybe that can be a next week thing.
These things that'd be good. And how do you learn? So do you use Photoshop to do your overlays and do your thumbnails?
Yeah. So again, I've been mucking around in Photoshop since I was 18. I think it was only recently that I actually purchased the software for the first time. I used to always steal my friends' codes, and the code that I had actually lasted me probably a good 8 years. And it's only recently, since I've started studying design media, that I actually needed to purchase it. So I purchased it this year, and I can't tell you the difference between using CS3 and now I'm using CS6. It's insane. But yeah, I use Photoshop to do my overlays. I use a program called Filmora Wondershare is what I use for my video editing. And
yes,
I love Filmora. It is a great price. The only thing is they've just put in a subscription thing now, so you can't actually buy their effects packs unless you pay for a subscription. So I haven't actually looked into that yet, but Filmora is so good. And when I was looking, I was using Windows Movie Maker, and I thought anything is better than this, and I've got Adobe Premiere at the moment as well, and I haven't even used it because Filmora just has my heart. I love it so much.
And it's got a free option as well.
It does. Well, okay, just be warned, it does give you a horrible watermark. So
yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, other than that, that's exactly how I started using it, because I made a whole video in Filmora and was like, oh, let's try and do this. And then when I went and exported it, I watched it and I was like, I can't believe it has a watermark. I'm like, how much is it? $100. All right, let's do it.
Was it a watermark on the corner, or was it the whole screen?
I think it was all across my whole face. Yeah, it was actually for Vampires Game Pack. That was the first time I used Filmora.
But it's good for practicing for people that want to start YouTube and not sure how they do it.
Definitely. Filmora is great. And again, I have a friend who's a YouTuber. She's only recently started becoming a Sims content creator, but she was doing lifestyle vlogs and she just uses Movie Maker. Again, each to their own. It really depends on what you're confident with and what works for you. If you want to go use Sony Vegas Pro or Adobe Premiere or whatever, like, cool. I don't know. I don't have time to learn these things. Like, it took me 10 years to learn Photoshop, so I'll happily just use what I'm good at.
Yeah, there's actually not a free version, but like a free alternative to Photoshop called Photopea. It's an online one. That's what I use because my computer is ancient and using Photoshop doesn't work. So I use that because it works in Chrome. So anything that has Chrome will work.
There you go. That's awesome.
That's the one I use. So yeah, that's how I do my thumbnails and things. Have you got any tips on how to do overlays? Because I know some sim streamers, they like to cover their UI on the Sims. That's very annoying. Like to cover
look, I'll use a Twitch streamer, Dr. Gluon. He's quite a popular Twitch streamer because his content is hilarious. He was one of the first streamers that I started watching, and I really liked his UI because he changes it every time he plays a game. And I like that. But again, uniform, you need to keep it the same. I mean, the only thing that I change mine for is retro. So if I'm doing a retro stream, I have more of a retro feel. And that's only because I want to fit in with the community. So if someone sees, like, if someone goes into retro tag and finds me sitting amongst all these retro gamers with, you know, Mario and stuff, and here I am with a Sims background, they're going to be like, huh? So, I mean, again, it's working for your niche and like seeing what's it. But yeah, I always have my webcam up because, again, it's another way that I can engage. And my face is very, very expressive. I say this. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people always say to me, like, you pull funny faces. So that's one of the things that made me want to go into YouTube as well. After being on the front page of Reddit once for a meme, you should check that out if you haven't.
Oh, what's that?
What's Google search for me right now.
What, your name or the girl who tattoo?
No, Google search man and wife, Cayman Islands. So Cayman Islands.
Man and wife came.
Cayman. Yep, Cayman Islands.
Oh, that's a suggested search.
So yeah, we went on holiday.
The stingray.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah. So now that's why I'm the stingray lady, because I was on the front page of Reddit for about 2 weeks, and I had hundreds to thousands of people comment, talk to me about it. Like, I would go to parties and people would be like, "Oh, you're the stingray girl," but my friends know that that's just a face that I pull. Like, that's just me just being like, like, and they caught me at the right time. And then it went on to Photoshop battles, and there are some hilarious Photoshop battles.
Yeah, so
and
one with your husband has a stingray as an arm for arm.
I love the alien one. There's one where like aliens like, and we're like, that it's so funny. My favorite is probably one that it's very hard to find, but someone's actually made it like black and white, and it kind of is like a 1912s like Charlie Chaplin sort of thing. Like, I've got like a hat and curly hair, and I've got glasses, and I've got like a moustache, and I'm like, it's so funny. I actually love that. It was my favorite one. But yeah, so that was one of the things that actually pushed me to want to be on YouTube. Honestly, like, I was like, you know what? If I can be on the front page of Reddit, I can be on YouTube. You know, like it took away that fear of my face being on the internet, because it was already there. 2.5 million views at last time I checked. It was stupid. I don't even know where I got that figure from, because it changes every single time I find it. But yeah.
Yeah, I see the Google search is Photoshop battle is what comes up.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's the first result. Thanks,
husband. We had a very strict discussion about how we weren't going to be putting that on the internet, and guess what? He went and put it on the internet. Thanks, guy.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
I had people calling me in like London, and they'd be like, "Alex, I just walked past my friends. Like, I'm at work, and I walked past one of my co-workers' computer, and your face is on it." I'm like, ugh. I was in Paris, and I was by myself in Disneyland, because, you know, what else do you do when you're by yourself in Disneyland? You go on Space Mountain 100 times and take 100 photos. So I walked past the photo booth, and I pulled the face, and one of the ladies was like, "Oh my God, you look like that stingray lady." And then I turned around, she's like, "You are that stingray lady." And I was in Paris, and I was like, damn.
Too bad you didn't have a branding on it. It would have
exactly. I could have flown out the door, you know. Like, well, I actually tried to join the two together, but it wasn't as successful as I had planned. But it's fine. There's a video on there if you're up on my YouTube about how I made the front page of Reddit.
I saw that. I skimmed past it, but I didn't watch it yet. I'll have to watch it later. It is
one of my favorite videos of me, because I was so not ready to talk about it. I was like, ugh. But there's a lot of fun bloopers. Like, I never take myself seriously. That's one thing that I really can't express to people, is you just need to be hilarious. And, you know, if you're too serious about yourself, no one's going to laugh at you. So you may as well laugh at yourself, right?
Yes, that's right.
Sometimes it's self-degrading humor, but you know what? That's fine.
I'm just noticing with your YouTube content, so you still do YouTube,
mm-hmm.
and that's separate videos. There's not recycling your Twitch streams.
No. Again, I wanted to keep it completely fresh. I can't remember who it was, but someone said, why don't you up, because I'm actually going away to Japan for 2 weeks in 2 weeks time, and I don't have a lot of time to do any more recording. So one of my friends was like, why don't you just put your Twitch streams on YouTube? And I was like, no, like I just don't want to. One, it doesn't translate very well because you've already had it recorded. The amount of editing that would go into that to make it a watchable video would just, I've done it once before. There's a Sims video in there that I've done, and it was horrible because you have to stop every 5 minutes and then you get raided and then you're chatting to someone that doesn't actually have anything to do with the game. So if someone's watching that video, they're going to be like, what is this girl talking about? So the amount of editing that comes to editing a Twitch video to put onto YouTube is a lot. I do love clips though. Clips are like one of my favorite things about Twitch because I don't realize what I do half the time. You know, like while I'm on stream, I don't know what I'm doing. And then when someone when someone clips me, I will literally once a week have a moment where I'm like, I can't do this. So then I'll just go watch my clips and I crack myself up. I will literally sit there and be like, oh, I can't believe I did that. But, you know, the fact that people are clipping it makes me go, well, someone enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, clips. There's some funny clips out there.
You've probably seen my raid video.
The one you play when you get raided?
Yes. Yeah. So when I get raided, I have a YouTube. I have a video that I've created of all my intros. And at the end, there's a line where I'm like, it's me. I am so trash. That was from me playing Alien on Sega, and I threw a grenade at myself and blew myself up. And someone clipped that, and I thought it was so funny that I was like, you know what? It's going in my raid video.
Yeah, I was watching that, and I was wondering, what were you referring to? Were you drunk or?
Yeah, I was actually drunk, to be honest. But I threw a grenade, and it bounced off the wall and came back and blew me up. And I was like, I can't play this game. I'm so trash. But yeah, it has become a phenomenon. Like a lot of my followers come in, they're like, oh, hey, it's me. I'm so trash, you know. And at the Twitch Adelaide meets, I always get, oh, hey, trash, you know, like, so even though I am the girl with the woohoo tattoo, I have this other like thing behind me.
Yeah, so with Twitch streamers, with females in general, or female Twitch streamers, I should say, there's always a point when they start Twitch streaming when they dye their hair. I noticed you do that a fair bit.
Yeah, I went back. I was purple hair, and then I went to here. I had purple hair for 3 years, and I got really sick of it, to be completely honest. I had purple hair, and it was part of my brand, believe it or not. And it took a lot of courage to go back brown, and personally I'm feeling a little bit flat, but my personality is so big that I don't need colored hair to stand out, you know. And in the real world it's not great because people look at you and they're like, oh, you must work at JB Hi-Fi or something like that, you know, like yes. Or you know, the amount of comments that I would get, oh my god, how do you get your hair that color, or do you know your hair's purple? I'm like, yes, it's not Maybelline. I wasn't born with it. Like I got so sick of the comments in real life that I just could not deal. But because it was part of my brand, I actually own 3 purple wigs. So when I do events, I put the purple wig on.
Yeah, I noticed. I was looking at your thumbnails, and yeah, a lot of times you got either purple hair or like a pinkish sort of hair.
When it's pink, it means it's faded.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
it just means I haven't done my hair.
So I don't know. All right, yeah. So that's your brand, pretty much pink. Pink and purple is pretty much your brand colors.
Yeah.
And you use the Sims color as well because you're a Sim related channel. And
so with my brand, one of the things that I really wanted to create with my brand is my tattoo, because I am physically branded, as we were talking before, with the Sims tattoo. So that's it there. So I got this tattoo. My friend was an apprentice and wanted to practice on someone, and I was like, cool, no worries, cheap tattoo. Let's do something stupid. And it was okay. Let's put it this way: I don't like this tattoo because it's huge. Okay, it's massive. I don't know what I was thinking, but at the time I was only going to get something little, and then he whipped this out, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then afterwards I was like, it's so big. So, I mean, it's not that I hate it because I've had to live with it for 7 years, so I don't really care. But because it's purple, I really honed in on the purple. So purple was my thing. I had purple hair and I had the purple tattoo. So purple was my brand. as far as the girl with the woohoo tattoo goes and my branding goes, is I'm a very eccentric, weird, funny, chatty, charismatic, but also creative kind of person. You know, I play The Sims, but I don't play The Sims like other people play The Sims. If someone comes into my stream and says, kill that Sim, I'll be like, no, I won't kill that Sim, but I'll kill another Sim for you. You know, like I'm happy to, you know, take, like I just want to make people happy. That's one thing that I really, you know, with all of my life really is I'm a Libra. I'm a people pleaser, so I have to make people happy. And, you know, Twitch gives me the feeling that I'm doing that, aside from the trolls, but you know what, they can go die under their bridge. Most of the time, I think I'm making people happy.
Yes, yeah, killing Sims is always fun.
Yeah.
I always comment on Sim Twitch streamers, and I always say, kill the Sim. It's fun.
It is so much fun.
There's so many different ways I can die in those games.
Oh, I know. They need more. Like that's
more?
another video I've got planned. Maybe I'll do that today. I want to do like a video of all the Sims deaths, because I've done all the places you can woohoo, so now it's all the Sim deaths.
Is that on YouTube?
Look out for this video coming soon. No, I'm kidding.
Look at the video, because Sim Supply did a video like that. Like that recently,
James,
where he killed all the Sims and made a montage of it and all the different ways you can do it.
Yeah, mine will be more of an educational video.
Okay.
Not just a for fun.
You met him, didn't you? Sim Supply?
James, he's great. Yeah, he's a really, really good person. I honestly, you can't have. I can't even express how much of a great person he is. His beard is magnificent, and he's just such a nice guy. Behind the facade, behind the Sim Supply, behind the James Turner YouTube, he's actually the nicest dude ever, and I really enjoy hanging out with him. I invited him to my birthday party last year. He didn't come because he was in the UK, but you know, at least he acknowledged me and actually came and like messaged me and was like, hey Alex, I'm really sorry, I'm going to be in London, but I can't make it. But like, I've met him a couple of times, and I really hope to work with him in the future. And yeah, like I said, he's out of all of the YouTubers that I've met or I know, he's my favorite. Like, I just really love his content. Again, he's a lot of inspiration for me because of the way that he talks and the way that he presents his channel. You know, he's got that branding. He changed his branding and then he flew. Like, I can't even, he needs so much, like, yeah, what he's achieved just recently, he's just done 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah. He's a 1 million play button he's showing off.
He is.
One of his last videos.
He's such a great guy. I love him so much. Like, I hold him in such high regard. And, you know, they say that, you know, what is it? Plagiarism is the biggest form of compliment. Like, is that the, anyway.
Something like that. Great artist steal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not copying him at all, but I have definitely taken a lot of his, you know, YouTube videos as a learning curve and actually finding out, like, what is it that he does. One thing that I want to talk about as well is, especially relating to James, when he starts a video, he starts the video. You know, there's nothing more I cannot explain when people come to like content creation is when you sit there and you're like, I'm now watching a 15-second long introduction.
Yeah, intros are silly. Just
you need to engage with your person straight away. Like, it's like if someone, you know, comes up to you, or let's just say, okay, you're sitting in the mall and you're having a cup of coffee, someone walks past you and they scream at their kid, you know, they're going to be like, shut up, Sally. You know, immediately you're going to be like, oh, maybe that person's a bad parent, you know? Again, I don't know. I don't have kids. But, you know, it's that first impression that you have of someone that is what you're going to, you know, that might be that might be the mayor of the town that you live in. But you don't know that. But the way that you just had that experience is going to affect that forever. So when it comes to creating content, you need to be engaging your clients from start to finish. You need to be like, and that's why I use, hi guys, it's Alex, the girl with the woohoo tattoo. It's short, sharp, precise, gets the point. It's uniform. I use it every single time. People make fun of me. I don't care. When it comes to doing Let's Plays, I hate watching Let's Plays Let me be clear about that. I don't like Let's Plays, but people like me to play. So I was like, I'm going to do a Let's Play. So I do my Not So Berry challenge. And because I hate Let's Plays so much, I want to reel these people in. So at the beginning of my Let's Play, I put a snippet of my favorite part of that video, or something funny that happened, or, you know, something that basically be like, this is why you should watch this video. And there's my intro. And now we're starting the video. So that's my process and my thought process as well behind when I do create videos.
Yeah, the getting to the point is very important, because on YouTube everyone jumps around so much.
The amount of tutorials that I watch, because I don't know anything. I'm a dummy. Like, you know, I'll be like, how to, you know, whatever, and I have to sit there now. Like, what was it the other day? I was trying to work out how to take chroma key off of a video and have a transparent background for a video. I could not find a thing, because I didn't want to sit there for 40 minutes and watch a guy talk so monotone about clicking on this aspect and then going up here and clicking on this and then changing the subject completely. I just want to know how to do it. Like, hurry up.
Yeah, I do tech tutorials on one of my channels.
Well, and you get it though, right?
Yeah, I do. I try to do 5-minute videos.
Oh my God, I was about to say, please. Like, please tell me that they're less than 5 minutes, because any tutorial should be less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I do 5 minutes, 5-minute videos, and then I do like a video where they all merge together in one video for people that want to watch the whole thing.
That's so good. So well, I was thinking about doing more singing tutorials, because I am, again, this is another part of branding, is finding out what you're really good at and how you can incorporate that into what you already do, you know. And I'm a singer, and even though I haven't been singing for probably 5 years, like I haven't professionally sung for 5 years, I have all that knowledge. I may as well use it. So that's another thing. I created how to warm up your voice videos and how to dye your hair and all these kind of things. So it's another part of my brand, and a lot of people ask questions about that. So it's another way to build a brand, and I guess give the information in one blob. You don't have to worry about telling 100 people. Like, one of the next videos I'm going to make is a My Tattoos tour, because I have so many people say, well, how many tattoos have you got? And I don't bloody know. I've got a full leg sleeve. I don't really pay attention to how many tattoos I've got. So that I thought that would be a really cool video to be like, hey, how many tattoos have you got? I can just link them to the video. Sorted. And that gets me a view, and it's done. Yeah,
views are good. That's why I do my tech videos. That's why I want to do short tutorials. Because I get so many questions. I send them to someone, and I get the view off it, and they get their question answered without me repeating myself over
Exactly. It's so much fun.
Yeah, look at views. Do you find on Twitch that your audience is coming from YouTube? They find you on YouTube and then jump to Twitch, no?
Most of my followers from Twitch actually come from other Twitch streamers, and that was hard to begin with, because when I first started Twitch, I didn't have a lot of a following. It took me a long time to get to affiliate. Actually, it took me something like maybe 8 weeks to get to affiliate, whereas I've seen people do it in 6 days. Like, and that's, you know, they are close friends to me as well, and I get so proud of them, but also so jealous. And I'm like, you don't know how hard I worked right at the beginning. You know, I remember when I first started, I did so many trial runs, and, you know, I had no one to feed off of. So it's really important that if you do want to start Twitch streaming, to go out there and watch Twitch streamers and make friends and find your local communities, and, you know, find someone that streams something that you want to do, and, you know, ask them for help, ask them to come and be a mod, you know, ask them to come and give you feedback, and constantly ask for feedback while you're streaming. So even like myself right now, is I'll always ask, how are the levels? Because I can't hear what I'm doing, and I don't want to set up another window, because then you're going to get echo. So I usually ask my streamers, you know, for help, my viewers, for help all the time.
Yeah, I find yeah, I was going to say then, but I was thinking, with you talking about the community, do you go to much meetups?
Yeah, so there's only been 2 meetups for Twitch Adelaide, and I've been to both of them. Actually, sorry, no, there was another one, but I was very sick and I couldn't make it. But 2 official ones that I've been to. I also helped out with a community stream where we did karaoke, and I really love those guys. I haven't felt so welcome in anything that I've ever done as I have in Twitch Adelaide, and that's so lame, and I can't believe I just said that live, but I've made some of the best friends. So one of my really close friends wanted to start twitching, and he's been really pushing me, and we've been pushing each other. So again, it's really important to have that competitive edge, but also be supportive at the same time. And he has been a friend of mine for almost 5 years, and we both said, right, we're going to start this up, we're going to do it right. So we go to all the events and stuff together. We really push each other. I also went to AvCon, where I did a lot of self-promotion and made a lot of friends and stuff like that. And I will also be attending PAX in Melbourne at the end of October. And that, again, is just to meet and greet and make friends and drop some business cards. And yeah, I don't even know the plan, like what is actually happening at PAX. I'm just going there. Like, all I know is it's just the Alex World Tour.
I was gonna ask you, but you already mentioned it. Business cards. So when you do go to meetups, do you give out your business cards and give out your?
So I've gone through 2 boxes of business cards, and I've only been doing YouTube for not even 3 years. So my business cards were designed by myself. I designed them and I got them printed from what was it called? I think it's like Vistaprint or whatever.
Yes,
25 bucks.
Oh wow.
$25 for a pack, and they're double-sided. It's got all my content on there, and it's the same logo that I used for my YouTube entry like intro page. And you can see it's actually got the Filmora element on there as well. I literally copied and pasted this from YouTube. So it matches, you know. So if someone sees that and they're like, the girl with the woohoo tattoo, if they go onto my streams, they're going to see that and they're going to be like, the girl with the woohoo tattoo. And then on the back, I've got a professional email. Always do a professional email whenever you start up your own brand, because again, you want to make sure that you can get contactable in case any sponsors or anything like that want to use you. And you don't want to be giving them I was making a joke about this yesterday, actually. One of my guys asked me, what's your email address? And I said, the girl with the woohoo tattoo @gmail.com. And he's like, lol, of course it is. And I said back, well, Alex Sexy Babe 69 was taken. So, you know, it's important to have that brand. But yeah, business cards, I throw them around like, because really it's the same that goes with, you know, what's the word? Like no news is bad news sort of thing, you know, like no publicity is bad publicity. If you have a girl with a woohoo tattoo card on the floor of a bathroom, someone's looking down there to go stand up. Oh, what's that? You know, they don't have to touch it, but that might stick in their head. So I am constantly surprise bombing these cards everywhere. If I have business cards in my pocket, you better believe I'm leaving them at the pub. Like, I have been to San Churros where I bombed the toilet. I think I had about 5 business cards in my bags. I just left them around. My friend came up and was like, Alex, I know you went to the toilet because I pulled this out of the toilet. And I was like, put it back. So then I hid it inside a menu. Again, someone's going to open that menu and be like, oh my God, the girl with the woohoo tattoo. What's that about? You know, then they're going to Google it. Boom, that's a hit for you. So business cards are so important, not only for contact, not only for when you're talking to someone, instead of having to write down your Twitch handle, it's right there. It shows professionalism. It shows that you know what you're doing and you're one step above the rest. I have had some people come to me and say, you know, I don't feel like that's appropriate. And I'm like, why? I honestly can't see a negative about it. Yeah, it might make you sound like you're a cocky, but in the long run, my brand is a business and I'm trying to promote that. So I need to be able to promote that every way possible. And if it's not by making a lasting impression with my personality, it's going to be with my business card.
Yes, I was going to ask about that. And also, do you have mugs as well?
I actually do. Yeah, I chose to use this morning because I haven't got my green screen set up, and normally I do, so I can't use it. But this is actually from Redbubble. So I've looked at a couple of different merch places, and the reason I started merch is because I wanted to wear my own t-shirts. Is that really narcissistic or what? But I was in.
About...
What's that?
Yep. Did you hear about YouTube integrating like merch sales into their
No,
website?
no, I did not know that.
They're
Like
starting to.
Streamlabs.
They can. I think it's Teespring is what it is. T-shirt.
I looked into Teespring and I hated them. So I've gone through a few. I went through Threadless, Teespring, Cafe Press was one that I stuck with, but then something happened and I think they were too expensive. And then I'm now with Redbubble and then Streamlabs also. So while I'm streaming, literally says right there you can buy my merch. So why not? I'm not going to say no to that. But yeah, Teespring.
Paul brothers, Logan and Jake Paul love to sell their merch. They made songs about it. You should make a song about your merch.
Maybe I could. Buy my merch, woohoo tattoo. If you wear my shirt, I'll say hi to you.
There we go. That rhymes.
That was the Mr. Plows theme.
Yes, no, The Simpsons. Have you played any Simpson games in your stream? Because that's a good retro.
Not in my stream, no. Oh my god, my voice.
Simpsons Hit and Run and Simpsons Road Rage are the good ones.
I would love to, but I actually don't own them. Here's a weird piece of information about me is that I actually never played the PS2.
Oh, that's crazy because it sold 150 million units.
Yeah. So the PlayStation 1 was my favorite, and I wanted so bad the PS2, but guess what? My brother got it. And at the time, my brother was in that age where he's like, it's going in my bedroom. And I was also at the age where I was like, well, too bad, I'm going out shopping with my friends. So for the main life of the PlayStation 2, I was at the stage where I was only playing Sims on PC, and he was playing, now let me think, Grand Theft Auto. Okay, so I have played games on the PlayStation 2. Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, The Simpsons Hit and Run, Sims, Herbs, and Sims, just The Sims. And I think I think we also had the Xbox at one stage as well. But like, I had the iToy and SingStar. Like they were the games that I had. Like again, when I was younger, my brother was playing games like, Vice City and, what else did he play? Oblivion. Oh my God, he played so much. Oh, and Halo and things like these things. Like I just could never, ever get to the console. This is why I never played it, because my brother was just a machine and would never let me have it. And that's where I played a lot of Sims during that time. I think that was when Sims 2 was out and I loved it so much. And then I started working in video games as The Sims 2 was finishing. So then I was actually there for the release of Sims 3. And then I went back and worked for the release of Sims 4 as well. So, it was, I have never played Kingdom Hearts.
That's on PS4 now.
I know. I actually do have it on PS3. But I just, have never played it. And because I've never played Final Fantasy or anything like that, it's really hard for me to translate and play it now, because not only is it nostalgic and I don't have any of those feelings towards it, people are like, it's such a great game, you should play it. And I'm like, I don't know how to play it. Like it's very hard. If you've never played it before, it's very hard to start playing.
Yeah. Have you ever played, have you heard about Shenmue? That game?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Have you played that on PS4?
No, I haven't.
That is very hard to get into.
One of my friends actually,
game.
One of the Adelaide Twitchers actually plays that as a speed run, like the original.
Oh,
and
wow.
we went out for lunch the other day. Yeah, we went out for I'm pretty sure it's that game. We went out for lunch the other day and he was just like, yeah, I played this game. And I'm like, I've heard of that. He's like, yeah, it just got re-released on PS4. I'm like, that would be why.
Yeah, it's that game's really jarring going back to that.
Yeah, wow. See, I never played it as a kid either, because unless it was Disney and zombies. Oh my God, that game. Actually, Brenton, you'd be really happy. Zombies are my neighbors. I'm actually planning another tattoo on my leg. I have a space that is going to be perfect, and I needed some sort of like thing to go off, and it's going to be a Mega Drive controller.
Yes, Mega Drive. I like the Mega Drive.
And I'm going to put some sort of game on the inside. I'm thinking of doing Mickey's World of Illusion, because I think it's probably zombies is one of my favorites. But also it goes with my Disney theme, so we'll see how we go.
Is that the one where Mickey Mouse goes through different cartoons from the early days?
No,
Like
so
Steamboat
that
Willie was the
is
first one.
what was that? That was Mickey's Timeless Adventures or something like that. The one that I'm playing it was an old one. I think it was from like 93 or 94. And it is Mickey's World of Illusion. Oh, actually, it's World of Illusion featuring Mickey Mouse. And it's basically they find a magician and the magician gives them powers and they have to get out of this world of illusion, and then they have to use their powers to, you know, change the levels and stuff like that. And it's one of the best co-op games I have ever played, because there's 3 different levels. So you've got Mickey Mouse's level, Donald Duck's level, and then a co-op level. So if you're playing with someone else, you're going to get different levels. It's so much fun.
Was that the one that was re-released on the 360? Was that
Nah, let me find it for you. Hang on.
World of Illusion?
World of Illusion. I don't think they've ever
Okay, World of Illusion. Sorry, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Okay, that's not the one.
Yeah,
I was thinking of Castle of Illusion. It was
Castle of Illusion was earlier than that, and it was a bit. Again, I have a friend who speedruns it, and I find that it's very. What's the word? I can't even explain. Like, it's very clunky. It's not as nice as World of Illusion. World of Illusion is so smooth and easy, and like the levels are really colorful and great, whereas Castle of Illusion is a bit dated. Like, you can tell that it was done by a different developer, and yeah, it's. I've played Castle of Illusion to the end hundreds of times, but World of Illusion takes me about half an hour to finish, and I love it. I can literally just put it on. I could be having the worst day ever, and I'll just be like, I'm playing this game.
Did you see the re-release of it? That's Illusion. They redid it with 3D graphics.
Yes, I do have that on PlayStation. I think I played it for a little bit, but I got upset at it, and then I never picked it up again. Maybe that's something I could play. I could probably play that on my stream now that I've got my monitor.
Yes, you monitor. It's very interesting how there's so many games being re-released now and remastered and everything.
I know. Yeah, and one of the reasons why I actually not wanted to work in gaming retail was actually that. I got to the point where I was like, if I have to see another Assassin's Creed game, I think I'm going to cry. And they're still going. Good on them. Well done, guys. But, you know, I got to the point where I really wanted something for my PS4, and there was nothing new. And only probably in the last 12 months, maybe actually let's say 18 months, have there been games that have been exclusive for PlayStation, or, you know, even available on PlayStation. Things that I like Yooka-Laylee. Yonder was one of those that I really liked.
That one.
Yonder, The Lost Chronicles, I think it's called. What else have I got? Obviously, The Sims was released on console as well, which is really, really cool. And
you know what the expansion packs are coming out for PS4? Have you heard about that? Or the expansion packs for PS4. Is that something is on the way? Yes.
So I actually put up a video of that the other day. I played The Sims on console for 2 weeks straight. And I had about 4 hours worth of footage that I had to pull down to about 12 minutes, I think I made it. And it was painful, but it literally goes through every single expansion pack that is available up until now. Since then, they've actually released Get Together, and I'm gonna have I don't know if I'm gonna review it because I've already done a review for it, but I might do a review for it on the PC and then be like, this is now available on console too. So yeah, that's another one of the things, only because I'm not a sit in a chair sit back and game kind of person, mainly because I sit there and I get distracted and someone's over here and I cannot sit still for 5 minutes. That's just who I am.
Did you find it jarring going from PC to a controller with the console version? Yeah, I did too.
I've never loved Sims on console. I've never loved it.
Because the analog stick controls the mouse.
Yes. Oh, but the thing is, I do like that it clicked though. That was one of the things, it like clipped to the next option. That was really easy. The thing that I didn't like was the zooming. It took a lot to try and like work out how to actually view. But once I got a hang of it, it was fine. It was fine. But yeah, again, all of my favorite saves are on my PC. So I was like, oh, I don't want to play this game. But I ended up creating my self sim and putting her into some pretty wacky situations. So
it's a shame you couldn't transfer files between the two games.
No, but they do have a gallery now. So you can actually upload between consoles and stuff like that. So I don't think it goes between Xbox and PS4. I think there's one exclusive to each side, but I can't remember if it was actually, oh my goodness. just want to make sure what I'm saying is right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait. And the gallery. I mean, I haven't got any. Oh no, it says the Sims 4 gallery is up. Yeah. So I didn't check it, but it looks like the gallery is available for consoles now too. So yay.
Yes, that's good. It's annoying that you can't plug in a keyboard and mouse and play it. That's
oh yeah, that's true. Like a wireless. Yeah, that would be awesome. But you know what you can do, Brenton? You can plug your TV in. You can plug your TV into your computer and go and take it out there and sit on your couch and play it, and that would be so much better.
Oh yeah, my computer's so old for Sims. That's why I use console.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true too.
I played Age of Empires 2 on PS2.
Yes,
and you can use a keyboard and mouse for that game.
A lot of games back in the PS2 days, you could, and PS3 as well. They actually used to sell like an actual branded wireless keyboard. For like Sony used to sell an actual branded wireless keyboard.
It's bizarre how those old games work with keyboard and mouse, but the PS2 version of Sims doesn't.
That's so weird.
It's like Age of Empires on PS2 use keyboard and mouse. That was annoying. Did you play the PS2 version of Age of Empires?
No.
It's horrible. The controls are bad. That's why they got keyboard and mouse support. It's so much easier with that.
But I did play Age of Empires. I used to play that a lot on my channel. When I was younger, and I just recently did a video about it on my channel.
Yeah, I saw that video. I saw some of it. I
played for so long, and I had to. This is what I do: is I play these games, and then I have to go through and find out like where I can chop these things to make it sound entertaining for people instead of me just staring at a computer for 4 hours playing a game.
What I've seen YouTubers do when they make videos is when they see something interesting happening, they write down the time code.
That's true.
And when they go back and edit, they can just look at the time codes, and then they have all the highlights ready.
That's a really good idea, actually. I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that next time, but I know that I won't because I play the game and I'm enthralled.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to do game reviews, but it's hard. You record all the footage for 10 hours or something and trying to go through and find the interesting bits. It's a pain.
Well, The Sims is easy to do that. Like what I usually do is I will actually look at the sound. That's one thing that I do is if I am not talking, I can't see the sound peak. That's another thing. That's another reason why I really like Filmora. I can see the sound peak, so I know that I said something then. So I'll actually run it in 2 times speed, and then I will listen up until like I'll see there's a peak, and I'll go just before it so I can listen to say what I did, and I probably sneezed. So then I'll just keep going. So it does make it a lot easier to edit.
So when I do my editing, I use an app called WeVideo. It's a Chrome-based one, because my computer's so old, I have to use everything for Chrome, and it does the same thing. You can see the audio, and then you can just cut out the silences.
Yeah. That's one thing that I use. I used to work in a recording studio, so that was one of the things that I actually used to have to do when I was a kid, when I worked in a recording studio.
Very good. So I think we covered a lot of things today. Is there anything else you want to add about Twitch streaming? About how to stand out, I should say?
No, but again, I just want to reiterate how important it is to engage with your chatters. I mean, there's one thing that I cannot stand is I go into other Twitch streams and you say hello and it's a quiet chat. Like I would never go into a Twitch stream and expect someone that has plus 300 people and the chat's is flipping through. Like I would not expect them to shout me out or say hello. But it really frustrates me if I raid someone and I don't get a thank you or a hello. It's not because, I'm like, well, how dare they? It's more of I chose to raid you and send all my community over to you because I really like your content and I want my watchers to enjoy your content too. And usually I'll raid someone new at least once a month. I'll raid someone that I've never, I'll go into the actual community and find someone that's playing the same game and raid them. And, it's a hit and a miss most of the time. And it's because people don't know how to engage with their chat. And again, it's a learning curve and I don't understand it, but I have been in some serious chats where people are just so mean. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't know how that's supposed to be for your regulars, but if your regulars are calling me out and being mean, and then you're not even responding or reacting to that, I'm not going to stay in your chat. I was in a chat the other day. Actually, you know what? I will bring something up which has nothing to do with anything. The one
Yeah,
thing that I get so much from Twitch is a woohoo tattoo. And people go, oh, a woohoo tattoo. Where's your woohoo tattoo? You know, and if you don't play The Sims, I'm not assuming, like, I don't want to assume that you know what that is. But please don't assume that I have a tattoo on my nether regions, because I get that at least 6 times a week, and I'm not even joking. Like, I was in a Twitch stream yesterday. Someone told me, go check out this person because they're really good. So I went in and said hi to the Twitch streamer, and the person that he was engaging with literally said, have you got a tattoo on your woohoo? And I was just like, how, like, no. Why? What? I mean, sure, maybe I do, but why would you even say that? Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, drives me crazy.
Yeah. Well, they're close to what that means, but that's not.
Well, exactly. Well, that was what my next comment was, and I was like, no, ... thank you. But it does have sexual. It does have a. What was it that I said? I said it is a little bit. It's not as freaky as that, but it does have some relation. So why don't you Google it? That's what I usually follow it up with, because it drives me crazy.
And they see a purple love heart.
And then they're like, what does that mean? And then it's like, for me to know and you to find out, buddy. Also, why don't you go watch one of my videos and maybe find out?
It's funny that woohoo wasn't introduced in Sims till The Sims 2.
Yes.
About 2004.
Yeah.
So the early games didn't have it. It was just called, what was it called in those games? It was called like Have Fun or something?
The original one, you couldn't, you couldn't procreate in The Sims unless you'd kissed heaps, and then a little pop-up would come up and say, would you like to have a baby? So that was very G-rated, very, very Christian. Oh, yes. And I guess it was very subtle, because the creator of The Sims, Will Wright, never really wanted to include the people in there. He actually just wanted to make the game as a Sims designing game after his house burnt down in the Chicago fires. So he actually created a program so that he could rebuild his house. And then someone made the suggestion of, like, why don't you put people in there? And that's when he got the idea of, maybe we should make it a life simulator, like a dollhouse. And originally it was going to be called the Dollhouse, but they changed the name The Sims, I guess probably because of simulations. Like, I think that's where they got that from.
The other games were called that too.
That's true. That is true. And it was very, very clever of him. But in The Sims 1, there was an expansion pack called Living Large. I think it was Living
the first
Large.
One.
Yeah, the first expansion pack, and it had a vibrating bed. And it had
a love heart.
Yeah, I have an enamel pin of that actually on my jacket, because it's so funny, and it's such a big part of my Sims. Because I was at that age when I first started playing The Sims, like, I was going through all of, like, you know, growing up. So playing in bed was a really good introduction to that. And that, not that I'm saying I did that at that age, but, you know, as The Sims grew up, I grew up with The Sims, and then we got Woohoo. And from there, like, it just made me go, you know what, this is really cute. I always liked the fact that it was a purple love heart with freaky eyes. And the reason I got the Sims 2 one is because at the time when Sims 3 was out, I did not like the icon. So I went OG and decided to get the Sims 2 Woohoo.
And then they introduced different places where you can do it. The Sims 2, you can do it in a car, you can do it in the shopping center. You can do it
Sims 2 had so many Woohoo locations. It was insane. I think my favorite one ever... actually, at the moment, I really like the closet Woohoo. That's my favorite on The Sims 4. They go into that's available now on the console as well in the Get Together pack. Oh, they go into a closet, and the closet literally, like, breathes with, like, steam, and then they jump out, and they're like, woo! And that's the thing that I really loved about The Sims from the word go, and I love that The Sims 4 is bringing it back, is the real, like, what's the word? Like, it was very cartoony and very over-exaggerated. And I guess I probably have The Sims to thank for my personality for that, because that's who I've become. I've become a really animated, over-the-top, cartoony kind of person. And growing up with my dad loved Looney Tunes. So I watched that when I was a kid, and also being a Disney freak. But Looney Tunes is really that really typical cartoon kind of humor. And that really includes in The Sims. And I think that's probably part of the reason of who I am today.
Yeah, I was thinking of I was looking at something else over here. Oh yeah, on The Sims 4 on PS4, you can get an achievement for not achievement. It's called on PS4. It's called trophies
Mhm.
for doing a woohoo in the spaceship.
Yes, rocket woohoo.
Yeah, did you get that achievement?
Yeah. I probably have all the woohoo
Oh,
achievements. Let's be real.
trophy, I should say, on PS4. I got that.
Not on the PS4. But if you want, you can add me to the PS4. My username is
Yeah,
Lady
sure.
Eve 00, and then we can compare
Different
trophies.
to your woohoo tattoo one.
Yeah, because you
Okay.
can't change it on PS4.
All right.
So
On
that's
Instagram, on PS4, when you get a trophy, it takes a picture of what you're doing,
yeah.
and then for the spaceship woohoo, I post that on Instagram.
Oh yeah, awesome. I think I know I definitely follow you on Instagram as well. So
It's
that's
there
fun.
somewhere. I post a lot of my trophies on Instagram because the first time a console ever done that, it takes a picture of what you're doing when you get the trophy.
That's so cool. So like in the game, obviously, I'm actually going to have a look
Yeah,
at it
it's
because
a
I
picture
can't.
of on PS4 when you get a trophy, it comes up on the side of the screen. So you got a trophy for doing this.
Yeah,
Also takes a screenshot of what's happening on the screen, when that happened,
yeah.
and it goes into your hard drive, and then you can upload to
That's so
Facebook and Twitter,
good. I'll
and then
have
you
to
can go
find it.
into
I can't see it
those
straight
ones and
away.
then share it to Instagram.
That's so funny.
That's really good.
I love the wackiness that The Sims has. It's just hilarious.
Sims are great.
I
I
mean,
want
there
to
was
check
a
out.
stage where I could not stand it. Like, honestly, I stopped playing for the longest time. And a lot of people probably don't know about that. But because I am such a content creator, like, I still do it. Like, when the Sims first came out, I don't think I played it for a good 8 months because I just did not like it. But now that we've got all of the amazing additions to The Sims 4 on console and on PC, like pools and toddlers and all the stuff that was left out of the game.
Yeah,
It's such a complete game, and I really love it now.
that's what annoys me with them when they change to a new version. They don't bring all the expansion packs with them straight away.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's got
Stupid.
to be hard to do that, like to obviously code everything again for
Yeah.
consoles. It's probably going to take a lot of time to do.
The what annoyed me most about changing to The Sims 3 to The Sims 4 is in The Sims 3 you can design all the colors for everything, like redesign textures. And in The Sims
Yeah.
4 you can't.
Oh my god,
Because
that
something
was
doesn't match.
that
Like I want that
hurts.
thing in my room and I can't match the colors.
It hurts, doesn't it? And it's like I don't. But I guess like in real life, that's sort of a thing. I remember going through.
Yeah.
I was looking to furnish my house. This was a few years ago when we first moved in. It probably so it would have been 7 years ago because The Sims has been out for what 4 years now. So I remember going to IKEA or like fantastic furniture and being like, why can't I just change the color like on Sims? This is stupid. Like obviously not being realistic, but it's just funny to think that we've got that creative flair in The Sims 3 and they took it away from us. But you can do it in the pet creator pet, which is handy.
Yeah, I saw someone spray paint their cat on one video once. That was funny.
Yes.
Have you seen Call Me Kevin?
Who's that? Call Me Kevin? I've heard of him.
He's the one who did that. He got the pets expansion, then he spray painted his cat. It's funny. Who you talking about?
There's a really cool artist out there who actually does a lot of content creation for making art on cats and dogs on The Sims. Let me see if I can find her. Wow. Hang on. Oh my god, my PC is not letting me.
Mine's struggling to handle because I got multiple tabs open and doing this video, and it's 10 years old. So it's.
Oh well, my computer is probably 10 years old, but my insides are about a year old. So.
Yeah, I've got a Mac, so you can't really do much about that.
Yeah.
I upgraded the RAM to 64 gigs. Oh no, 16 gigs. Not 64, 16 gigs. Put an SSD in, and that's really brought it back to life. That's great, but it's still certain times it struggles. Well, considering it's 10 years old, it's doing pretty well.
I'll have to send it to you, but yeah, there's some really beautiful artworks. I can't remember. She's got a foreign name. I can't think of it off the top of my head at the moment. But she literally will recreate things like Van Gogh, but on the side of a dog. It's insane.
Okay, you never thought someone would ever say that, but that's
And some of the things she's done are absolutely stunning. So yeah, definitely go check that out. It's so cool.
I will check that out. All right, I think we've pretty much covered branding and covered Twitch and YouTube as well. So I think we should talk about shoutouts, and we already started because you were talking about that person. Any other content creators you want to talk about?
Well, obviously, I really want to shout out to, I mean, I wish I could mention everybody that has helped me. I really want to say the first person who ever got me into twitching is Maddie. Her Twitch username is and let me think, I have to type it, Maedi. So she is one of the most, she's so cute, and she's different. Like, she's very, she plays Guild Wars online a lot, and she plays The Sims. And I've been following her on Instagram for a long time, and I sort of thought, well, you know what, if she can Twitch stream, so can I. So she's actually one of the reasons why I'm on Twitch. Another one of the reasons why I'm on YouTube is probably because of Jenna Marbles. Let's be real. Jenna Marbles is goals. I want to be her best friend, and the way that she's branded herself is second to no other. Like, she's amazing. And then from there, obviously, Deligracy and James Turner, the Sims Supply, they really pushed me. They pushed me in a way that they don't know. You know, like, I wanted to do this so bad, and then I thought, you know what, who can I sort of like idolize, and who can I look up to? I never ever wanted to compare myself to them, and I wanted to use them as a reaching point. So they were two people that I actually, you know, brought inspiration from, like, took inspiration from in order to create my channel. And then I also want to thank Lunacy Sims. Lunacy Sims is a content creator. She's actually from New York, and she does The Sims, but she does a lot of different stuff. And the reason that I say that is because we started YouTube at the same time, and, you know, we have just supported ourselves the whole way through. Another person I want to say thanks to is Engram Pixels. Engram is my Sims mama. She is just an exceptional human being, and we chat almost every day. She's just perfect, and I'm very, very lucky to have met her. And while I can't actually physically remember meeting her in real life, we have got one of the best relationships that I've ever even thought about, you know. And the people that I meet online, I'm so open and accepting of their love, and, you know, to be able to have such an amazing friendship. She's in Sydney, so it's hard for me to obviously jump over there and see her, but we talk almost every day, and I'm actually going to be catching up with her next month. We're going to meet in the airport, and we're going to have a cup of coffee.
Do you travel around much?
Yes, I'm a travel freak.
I would ask that, 'cause, yeah, I noticed that on your vlogs. Could you do a separate vlog channel as well?
Yeah, that's right. So another reason why I wanted to start is because I actually ran my own blog. I had a website which is called Alex in Wonderlust. So it's like Wanderlust, but it's spelled with a W-O, so like Wonderland. So it's a play on words, because Alice in Wonderland, Alex in Wanderlust, whatever.
It's pretty cool.
When I was a travel agent, I needed another area in order to, again, I was a complete online agent. Like, I needed to put a brand and a face to the words that I'm typing on that little computer. So I needed to have that personal edge. So that was another reason why I started content creating, because I was writing travel blogs and stuff like that at the time. And I always had a Tumblr to do that kind of thing. So I would send my mum and dad and my friends the Tumblr blog with the tag post, and be like, hey, if you want to check out what I'm doing, I write here every day. And it's just a story of, like, today I did this, today I did this, tomorrow we're doing this is what happened today. And then I'd post 5 or 6 photos, and then the next day it was there. So what I then did with that, this is I can't, yeah, I've never actually talked about this about my gaming before, but from there, I would actually take that excerpt, print it out, and then scrapbook it. So I would put it into a travel journal that was a physical one that had all of my collectibles, because I'm a hoarder. You know, like, I go away and I collect things. So I'll be like, oh, here's a receipt from Disneyland. Oh, here's a coaster from the Twitch meetup that I stole the other day. You know, like, I will then use that and put that in my book, and then it's a lasting memory for me. So that's what really got me into writing. And I think Resident Entertainment saw that, and then they were like, let's go on from here. But I do have a personal vlog, which is Alex in Wonderlust, and I do lifestyle stuff. I do a weekly vlog, and I do whenever I travel, I try and make videos. So I'm constantly editing videos. There's not a day where I don't open up Filmora and yell at it, but, you know, that's what I like to do with my life.
Do you notice with Filmora that do you notice it freezes and it's glitchy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's very laggy for me. I don't know if it's because of the amount of content that I actually have in there, like all the videos, and I try to delete it and clear the
Probably
cache
is.
every now and then, but there's a lot of stuff in there.
Have you
I
got
think
an
I've
SSD computer?
yes.
Oh, and it's still slow. Okay.
The actual program is laggy, so I'll click on it and then I'll click into like transitions, and then I'll also like music, and then I'll have to go import, because while it's like thinking about all the stuff, it's like bringing it in. So yeah.
That's what I like about WeVideo is because in Chrome you can open multiple tabs.
Yeah, that's fair enough too. Hey,
So
see, I
if
haven't
it's
actually looked
freezing,
into doing that.
oh well, it's I use it because I got an old computer. But if it's freezing and loading one video, I can go work on another video while
Yeah,
it's
that's
doing
cool.
that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
See, the thing that does that save to the cloud and stuff like that as
Yes,
well?
it
Or
auto saves to the cloud. Everything.
very cool.
Problem is when you import videos, you got to upload them to the cloud, and that
Yeah.
takes a while. But you can usually, if they're MP4s, you can edit them while it's uploading.
Yeah, cool.
For
Awesome.
some reason, it can run on local cache until it's uploaded. Somehow,
That's
anyway,
awesome.
it's pretty good for my
For
old
what it
computer.
is. Yeah, that's
Yes, but
awesome. I like that. Well, I mean, that might be like something that I look into in the future if my computer decides to die one day. I might need
yeah.
it.
Well, it can run on laptops too. It runs on Chromebooks.
Sweet, that's amazing. Well, I've got a laptop, but I hate it. Like I'm about to sell it because it is the worst thing I've ever purchased in my life. It cost me about $600, and it's got like 2 gig of RAM and all this kind of stuff. It's actually not a bad, but it's HP and it's so laggy. I cannot stand slow computers. It's like my pet hate.
Did you wipe it before you started using it?
Yeah, I've wiped it twice.
Okay, because with HP they load all this garbage on. It's always good to reinstall Windows 10 manually from a Windows 10 USB stick.
Yeah,
So
well, I
you get
haven't
all
done
garbage.
that, but I have wiped it. I've wiped it twice, and then I sent back to HP because it died, and then they brought it back, and it was still terrible. So, yeah.
And put an SSD in as well, because that always helps.
Well, I'm gonna actually sell it and buy one day. I want to buy a nice Asus gaming laptop because
Ooh.
that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, here we go. Let's see if I get any endorsements from being on the front page of Twitch. I doubt it.
That's happening soon, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm actually on the front page of Twitch in 2 days and I'm dying. I'm so excited. But I'm also really nervous, and I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I thought, you know what? Why am I putting this pressure on myself? I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for everybody else. So I have decided to just be me and just be entertaining, and that's all that I can do.
That's it. And when you're on the front page, you expect to get like 1,000 viewers at once or something insane.
I have no idea. I got rated by Loserfruit once. Do you know Loserfruit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rings a bell, yeah.
Yeah, Loserfruit is a professional Twitch streamer. She averages on about 1,200 viewers every stream. Like, she's insane, and she plays a lot of Fortnite, but she was playing The Sims, and one of my amazing viewers actually said, hey, go and raid the girl with the woohoo tattoo. So she raided me 900 people.
Just appeared out of nowhere.
And I was like, what are you guys doing here? So that was amazing. I've also been rated by like Nazy and stuff like that. So raids are so important as well. So make sure you make the most of them.
With Nazy, when I see her Instagram photos and you see a picture with her with non-streamers, she stands out because of purple hair. That's a Twitch streamer.
Well, that's another reason why I decided not to have purple hair, because I had purple hair for so long, and then I realized that there was someone like Nazy out there, and I was like, oh, I don't want her to think that I'm stealing her brand. So I sort of took it back a little bit.
It's very common for girls to have purple hair on Twitch.
Yeah, exactly. And that, again,
there's Angel Chi does that too.
Angel Shell, yeah, and then there's another one as well. I've got a friend, her name's Corey Skating. She's got purple hair. Another friend that I had purple hair, and I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I don't want to have purple hair anymore. So that's why I have this weird, I don't know what this hair color is, but yeah.
Is it faded purple?
No, it's actually, it's as close to my natural color as possible. So we did like dark at the roots, and then it's faded heaps because obviously it was bleached underneath, but it's kind of like just a light brown, like a chestnut kind of brown.
Oh, right. Very good. I was looking for my Twitch followers and trying to see which ones have dyed hair. Pretty much all of them have dyed hair of some sort.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
A lot of them are blonde and they stand out. You don't want to go green here because of the plumb
No,
bob?
never. Never. I don't like green. Green is actually the worst color ever. No, that's not true. I don't like orange. No, personally, I wouldn't go green because green's green, and I use green screen a lot, and that I have enough problem with my chroma key as it is, so I don't really want to make that any harder.
The green screen.
But there's this guy being a Sims streamer because I can't wear any Sims merch because it's all green, so I have to make sure that, I mean, I could get a blue screen, I guess, but you know, that's really going to cause more problems than it would anything. But we'll see. We'll see how we go.
I tried to use a blue sheet once as a bed sheet,
yeah,
as a green screen. It didn't work very well.
My first green screen was a tablecloth.
Oh yeah,
it was a $2.50 party tablecloth from Sparty's, like Spotlight.
Was a blue or green?
It was green.
I have to get a green one because I tried to use a blue bed sheet and it didn't actually work very well. Cool. So I think we covered. I think we covered a lot of things today. A lot of educational things.
No worries. Thanks so much for chatting with me.
Yes, we're gonna learn a lot about how you brand and how you do your process, I guess. You do your streams and do your videos.
There's a lot of process behind it. I think that's one thing that is really quite, I guess, just goes, like, people just assume that it's just like start the computer up, start streaming, but it really isn't like that at all. There's a lot that goes into it. Like, I do vocal warm-ups before I stream. I don't really test my stream, but I do vocal warm-ups because that's one thing that I cannot iterate enough is you need to have, you know, because you're going to be talking for the next 6 hours. You need to make sure that your voice is okay. Otherwise, you're going to end up burning out.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. I've seen people that say that YouTubers only work 10 minutes a day because they only put 10 minutes video a day out.
No.
It's like a whole day goes in that 10 minutes.
No, I mean, I have recorded, because I'm going away, I'm starting to schedule a lot of my videos, and I have done 4 videos this week. Like that is between working, doing job interviews, going and doing TAFE assignments and everything like that. Like, and these videos are like 4 minutes long. So I mean, I've got it down to a knack where I can make it as easy as possible to record because I've got all my templates. I've got I know exactly how I fade in, fade out. I do this, I put this song in, I can clip that, and I do that. And then while the video is uploading, I'll make my thumbnail. I usually race myself. But yeah, it does become a process.
Thumbnails are very important, and I can see your thumbnails. You put a lot of effort in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, I've seen people just use screenshot from the video, but you actually go in and edit a logo in, and you got you in there, some of them.
Again, branding, so important.
Yep,
I created that logo. That was the first logo that I had ever. That wasn't my first logo, but it was the one that just stuck so well because it just says Woohoo Tattoo, and then you can see the girl with the woohoo at the top, and then it has the plumb bob, which probably can't use in a logo, but too bad. Sims hasn't told me off yet.
Yeah, I was going to say it's copyrighted, but they haven't seen anything about it yet. And then they work with you, do they? Like,
so I'm an EA game changer, so I use I am awarded with content that is free, so I get codes for free, and I also have the community options as well, so we can talk about stuff, and I usually get them before the game is released as well, which is really fun, but very hard because, you know, you usually have an embargo, you can't talk about it, but then that also means that if you've got, let's just say there's a new Sims game that comes out, let's just call it The Sims Rainbow Stuff, I don't know, whatever, and Sims Rainbow Stuff is due out on Thursday, but I'm going to stream on Wednesday, but I've had it installed on my computer since Monday. I can't actually stream The Sims because I'm not allowed to show anyone. So what then you need to do is, you know, tell people, oh, we're going to play this because it's like Rainbow Stuff and Rainbow Stuff's coming out. But you can't actually tell people that you actually have the code until you actually are allowed to.
So the embargo's done.
That's it.
That's what I noticed with YouTubers. Like 12 o'clock at midnight, they start uploading or post their videos.
Yeah.
It's like, I haven't even picked up from the shop yet. The shop isn't open till 9.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is it's very hard for an Australian YouTuber, content creator, because we do have to deal with the time zones. And that is hard only because, you know, with The Sims, a lot of stuff gets announced very early in the morning. So if it's announced at 4 in the morning for us, we don't get that information until, let's just say, 8 or 9, and people have already done it. You know, like they have already been there, done that. They've already researched it. They've already done their videos, and it's already out. So by the time you wake up, there's already news. So it's very hard, especially being in this time zone. You know, we are usually the last ones to know, and it's hard to compete with the big things, especially. And this is where it gets tricky: is that the bigger YouTubers for The Sims, they are actually told about the news beforehand so that they can have the same edge as YouTubers in the US or the UK, because then like they will have the news and stuff and they'll announce everything at the same time. But as just a normal old person here, we don't have that edge. So it does sort of hold us down a little bit, but it's about, again, building that brand, building the community, and, you know, really, I guess it, you know, just making a name for yourself and actually going out there and showing EA, being like, yeah, I can give you that information. Yeah, I am the next big thing. So then they will learn to accept you and then give you more opportunities.
Yeah, that's the way. It's always hard to compete. But yeah, when they give you the edge, that's going to be good.
That's
for
it.
you and the Australians. Being Australia is very hard.
Well, that's another thing that I really wanted to focus on as well. Again, I wanted to bring the equality into everyone can game. And by everyone this time, I actually mean people in our time zone. So I created a new community called Aussie Simmers, which is something that I have done on my own. It's just a Facebook page, but it gives us all the information and news and stuff that we need for our little part of the world. So this is basically not only Aussie Simmers, but Australian, New Zealand, and Asia Pacific. So basically anybody in like Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, a lot of people play The Sims. And then also we do get a lot of people from New Zealand and the Pacific as well that play The Sims that just don't get the information because there's no support there. And now that EA doesn't have a community manager for The Sims in Australia, I took it upon myself to be like, you know what, someone needs to look after this part of the world, and we get real kicked back. So I mean, I'm nobody. I'm a nobody, but someone needed to look after us.
Yeah, I just noticed with also content creation as well. With Australia's internet, it's very hard to get our content out there.
That's exactly right. I mean, I'm lucky because I've got NBN, and I only started Twitch streaming when I got NBN because I could not do anything before that.
Yeah, I do IT work, and I service phones and tablets and computers, and doing updates and backups and stuff on ADSL. It was very horrible.
Yeah, even like where we live, we were supposed to have NBN put in when we moved in 7 years ago, but they put the wrong cables down, so we had to wait until everybody else in the whole neighborhood. We were the only block that didn't have NBN, and we got it. These people who literally moved in last year had NBN. And we didn't have NBN, and I was like, "This is the worst."
ADSL is horrible. In areas where I work, people still have ADSL because NBN isn't out yet.
Yeah,
it's like a dark ages. It's so horrible.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. It's crazy.
It's crazy. So that's going to be the episode today. I think we covered a lot of stuff.
All right, thank you so much.
For like almost 2 hours or so.
That's all right. I'm sure there's a bit of editing to be done.
There is, yes. There is. That's all right. Yeah, so thanks for Alex from the girl with the Woohoo Tattoo for joining us today. And we'll end the episode there.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Alex, for joining us. All right, bye.
Right. Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Cool. Thank you.